Hi there, students. I had a request to make a video about obscurantism, and this is actually quite an interesting subject. So, obscurantism, a noun. I guess obscurantist is a person, obscuration as a verb. And then that goes to obscure or obscurely, which are something that you can't see clearly. Okay, obscurantism is deliberately hiding the truth, or probably better put, making things so complicated that people can't understand them. Yeah? Withholding information from the public, but by making things so complex, so elitist, so difficult to discover and understand that people don't want to know about it, or they can't find out about it. And like this prevents things from being known or heard. So clearly this talks about the dilemma of, should the public know everything? Should there be no secrets? Should there be no official secrets? So should there be clear transparency for everyone of everything is going on? Or should governments practice obscurantism to some sort of point? Let's see, the church particularly was accused of obscurantism. I think the obscurantists first came about in about 1500, and this was talking about the idea of if you make religious things so difficult for the general people, for Joe Public to understand, then you maintain them, you keep them in ignorance. So, for example, before that time, and then at that time, the only people that could read and write were either the nobles or the church. Yeah, and up until that point as well, nearly everything that belonged to the church was in Latin to make it even more difficult for them to understand. So obscurantism is giving information in a way that it's so complex that it's difficult for an ordinary person to find out more about it or to understand it more deeply. And clearly, if you look at it, obscurantism is the practice of maintaining the status quo, of keeping the rich and powerful in position and keeping the hoi polloi down. Yeah, because if matters of state and matters of religion are so complicated or presented in such a complicated matter that the general people can't understand them, then this creates a gulf or a huge separation between the common people and our rulers. Okay, so obscurantism is the opposition to the spread of knowledge, to education for everybody. Yeah, it's against this policy of holding knowledge or withholding knowledge from the general public. Yeah, and if you can keep people ignorant, you can keep them down. And therefore, in my opinion, education and learning is one of the greatest forces that exist for equality in society. If everyone has the same education, then elitism is going to be much, much more difficult. I think you'll probably find it does away with elitism completely. So, obscurantism, making things deliberately vague, yeah, not explaining them in order to prevent people from finding out. But you'll find obscurantism in all areas. Yeah, you take your car to the garage and the mechanic starts using all sorts of technical words, all sorts of technical jargon. And this effectively is obscurantism. He's trying to push you out so that you don't understand what's going on, and therefore he can charge you what he wants. Or lawyers and contracts using these highfalutin, long, complicated words to mean something simple. And therefore, with that obscurantism, he can charge you £200 an hour because there's no way that you can write it in that language. And I think also another thing that's important in society is clear, plain English, that everything should be clear, plain, and easy to understand, especially the law. Because if a law is not, if the general public can't actually, or find it very difficult to understand what a law means, you need to write it and put it in a way that everybody can understand it. Otherwise, I don't think you have an obligation to obey that law. Yeah. So obscurantism, it's keeping the public ignorant about things, and then that maintains you as somebody smart who knows things and knows how to do things and knows this language. Okay, so that's the idea of obscurantism. Let's see, I think this as to formality, obscurantism, I'm going to give it a 7 in formality. Semi-formal writing or a formal writing is something that you would have to explain, and I think this actually came from a piece of satire in the 15th century called Letters of Obscure Men, and this is between a humanist scholar, Johannes Reuchlin, and a monk, Johannes Peter Scoffen. And the monk wanted to effectively burn all Jewish books as they were not Christian. And like that, you're hiding information from people. Yeah. Okay. So obscurantism. It's a fundamentally anti-democratic thing. Yeah, because it's stopping people from learning, and it's creating elitism. Yeah, only I can know about this because I'm the most important, the top person. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Obscurantism.